Hey guys, today I'm going to start renovating my new 16-foot Pace trailer. It's 7.5 inches wide, which you can probably tell by looking at the wheel wells. I bought it used, so it's not perfectly new. You'll notice a little bit of dirt on the floor. Hopefully the light's okay and you can see. I am going to prime and paint the floor and prime and paint the walls, and then I'm going to put an epoxy on the floor. And I'm gonna make custom trim in here, just so it looks cool. Yeah, I don't need to, it's not functional at all. I just want it to look rad. And I'm gonna wire up a bunch of lights and outlets, and I'll be putting in a battery system and a power inverter. So anyway, let's get started. As you can see, the trim pieces that are in here are really thin and flimsy. I mean, this is like good quality OSB. It's like the pressure treated with resin. So it should be less water permeable. But the only reason these don't serve any function other than to just cover up the seams on your walls and the screws where they set the walls. So I'm gonna take these off. I won't break them or throw them away. I'll try to keep them intact just in case I decide to use them, but I really would prefer to go with a custom trim. I wanna walk in my trailer and be inspired to be excellent every day. Okay, well, nice. All right, I got all the trim out that I'm gonna take out except for this top piece. I don't care about the bottom trim because it's all gonna be covered up anyway, for the most part. I will have this piece exposed here, but I don't know. I haven't made up my mind yet if I'm gonna do that or not. We'll see, and it does bother me enough in the future. I can easily remove it, as you just saw, and replace it. So for now, this is what I'm gonna do. But I still have to take out these top pieces. They've just got screws in them, so I need to get my drill. Also, I'm gonna need to go around, pull out every single staple that's stuck. And I may as well do that now while I'm thinking of it. Then I'll get those top pieces off. I was very careful to hold on to every single one of these staples because I'm gonna blow this out, and I'll vacuum too, but I didn't want to get on the road and poking a tire or something like that, so, or having one of my kids step on it. So anyway, just be conscientious of that, but that is a lot of staples. I've got all the trim out. I went through with pliers, got out all the staples. I left the bottom trim, as I already discussed. Blew it out a couple times, and then I just vacuumed it with shop vac. I think we're ready to start taping, so let's get started. Nothing more fun than taping. You gotta protect your knees. They're a valuable resource. And some guys, it seems like, they almost brag about it, like, oh yeah, I totally wrecked my knees. It's like, well, if it was an accident, that's one thing, but if it was just the daily grind of you being too stubborn to put on knee pads and you're just kneeling on concrete all day long, every day, 8 hours a day for a year and a half, and then you're gonna complain about your knees, well, I can diagnose that pretty quickly. You're suffering from dumbass. Anyway, I don't know why everybody makes fun of the knee pads, but I've got great knees. And I enjoy working out, rock climbing, hiking, biking, playing with my kids. My knees are just fine. On that note, I highly recommend getting these knee pads, the Tough Built gel. It's like kneeling on a cloud. My knees have always been solid, so I just take care of them and hope you do the same. Sooner or later, old age will get all of us, but I trying to delay that as long as possible. Okay. How come what? Oh, it's for in case you're driving with the trailer and one of the tires goes flat. That's a spare tire, and you can put it on there so that your trailer can keep driving. I'm going to show you guys the best way to tape stuff like this. Just cover it up. Make sure it sticks to the metal really good. And the idea here is to overlap it like a lot. Like I'm not even close to the edge, right? Make sure to push it down in the middle, like stick it before you pull it tight. Okay, now I'm just gonna press all the way around the edges, in the middle, make sure it's down real tight. Take my X-Acto knife, do an angled cut around the edge. Okay, and now just pull away the excess. Then I'll go around with my finger and rub that little edge down that I just made. There should be like a little overhang. And I'm just pressing that down. And that is way faster than trying to line everything up exactly. Hopefully that helps some of you. And you're just gonna roll it. Well, as you can see, guys, first coat of primer's on. My daughter came out and reminded me that I said I was gonna do the walls first. That would have made a lot more sense, because then while the walls were drying, I could have also done the floor. Now that I've done the floor, I have to wait for the floor to dry before I can do the walls. Anyway, my bad. I've got a job site pro tip for you. In between coats, while you're waiting for stuff to dry, make sure to get a plastic bag. Another good reason to have gloves here. And put this in plastic, and you don't have to wash it out between coats. I just take off my gloves here, if I can get it without getting paint on me. There, nice and clean. And now that paint on the roller won't dry, and as soon as I'm ready to start painting again, even if it's hours or even a day or two later, I can come back to this and it won't have dried out. The other tip I would give you is buy a plastic insert for each coat that you're going to do. So I bought a bunch of these. I counted up each coat that I was going to do, as well as the color and the epoxy and the walls and the floor, so that I don't have to wash this out. It just saves a bunch of time. So now I can just take this and throw it away, and I've got my tray ready for the next insert on the next coat. Good luck to you guys. Okay.
Try this out.
I'll tell you why. You want to know why?
Give you 9 reasons for a dead sleep.
From a drunken hey, it's kind of starting to look cool.
Oh yeah.
All right, well, it's time for the next coat of paint on the walls. I did 2 on the floor so far, 1 on the walls. I'm gonna do 1 more on the floor because I can see still some of that resin is kind of seeping through the paint, just barely. And I just want to have all that sealed up with the primer before I go and put my color on the floor, which I'm going with the blue. Walls, I'll definitely have to do 2 more coats, so it's 3 total on walls, 3 total on the floor. And so I get started. I have my stack of disposable trays here. And then let me show you the advantage of just putting your rollers in a plastic bag. This is gonna make a bit of a mess, so I'll do it over my, my paint tray here. I have these rollers my buddy and I were using, and it's been almost a whole week, we'll say 5 days. And these rollers are still nice and wet. They haven't dried at all. Trying not to make too big of a mess here. Now this is still nice and wet. You can see it's getting on. I don't know how well you can see, but look, if I do here on the wall, there's still, like, I can still paint with it like that quick. So it saves you from having to clean up between coatings that you do. You don't have to like wash it out and then dry it and then put it, you know what I mean? Like, it's just way faster and easier. And then when I'm done, you know, I'll just throw this away in these single-use trays. I'll just throw them all away. So it ends up saving me a lot of time. Look at this little guy. We got a little honeybee.
So they have like high school kids.
Taking us